It's me, Galen. Galen's got Parkinson's. I'm going to try an experiment today. I've been using this chat GPT to help me with a novel I'm writing. I've got stuck on a character and I just can't get him to sound right. And my daughter, who's a teacher who uses this at work, said, oh, give this a try. And you can give it a character and a situation, and it writes ideas for you. And I was stuck on doing a synopsis for an agency, and it helped me with that. And it was great because what I was doing apparently wasn't even a synopsis. It told me to get knotted. So I was trying to work out another war game in a different part of my world of Joral. And I didn't want to do orcs and goblins. It's too easy. Anyone can fight orcs. I wanted to find a place where I could have two human armies fight. But looking at the map and the history, no one's actually crossed with anybody else at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give Chat GPT a bit of a sort of a brief history of the two countries and their history of being at war, and ask it to tell me why there might be a war now. I don't know if this is going to work, but it might be fun finding out. So let's have a look. So it says ask anything. So I'm going to ask it, why might Koth, comma, a medieval / Ottoman style nation who have enjoyed peace with neighbours for 50 years. Suddenly declare an unprovoked war. Why might Koth, a medieval Ottoman-style nation who have enjoyed peace with neighbours for 50 years, suddenly declare an unprovoked war? Here we go. Let's have a peep. For a nation like Koth, medieval Ottoman-style expansionist by heritage, but not long at peace, an unprovoked war would rarely be truly unprovoked. On the surface, it might appear so, but underneath there are often layered motives. So here are plausible reasons. I want them to go to war with Arnak, who are the sort of Crusader kingdom next door. A succession crisis or a legitimacy issue. New ruler might seek war to unify nobles and solidify authorities. Victories abroad distract from instability at home. Restless elite, powerful generals, warrior aristocrats, janissary-like corps may feel irrelevant during peacetime. War justifies their privileges. Economic stagnation, war can redirect discontent, seize new lands or provide plunder, tribute and slaves. Okay, and we've got more. Hang on. Religious or ideological. Renewed holy war. Yes, they did have a holy war with Arnak 50 years ago. Arnak won, but they did really well. They got within sort of 30 miles of Arnak's capital. Charismatic religious leader. It's a bit like the Mahdi, I suppose. Reclaim lands. That makes sense. Because after the war, the knights built a big castle in the middle of Koth to keep them quiet. Prophecy or an omen. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That'd be good. Medieval states seize on portents to justify radical action. Strategic concerns. Preemptive strikes. Even without hostility, they may fear a neighbour's growing power. Control of trade routes. Now that's true, because Koth has to go into the rest of the world through a really narrow gap which is controlled by Arnak, a buffer zone to create defensible borders. Well, they can't do that. Before their enemies grow too strong, their enemy already is strong. Foreign intrigue. Another power could encourage war. Exiles and pretenders and neighbours displace nobles, convince Koth they have a rightful claim to the throne. Doesn't jump at me, that one. Boredom. Boredom of peace. A warlike culture may see 50 years of peace as stagnation, dishonour, weakness. Anniversary of a symbolic moment. Might be framed as revenge for an ancient humiliation. Personal glory. A ruler who craves renown might feel overshadowed by their ancestors. Right, well, it's not that. Okay. Oh, hang on, let's have a look. You could mix the motives. Oh, right, here we are. Koth's young sultan inherits amid doubts of his legitimacy. And while trade tariffs choke Koth's economy, he's persuaded by hawkish generals and a firebrand cleric that their neighbours' fertile lands are both theirs birthright and a cure to internal woes. To the world, it looks like sudden aggression, but within Koth, it's seen as destiny fulfilled. I like this. Would you like me to sketch out a narrative hook for how this declaration of war in story how this might in story. All right. Oh yeah. How this declaration of war might unfold in story, like the official announcement atmosphere in Koth. I'm going to say yeah. Yeah. I like this. I'm having fun with this. Perfect. Right. Oh, The scene. The Sultan's court. The great hall of the Sultan's palace is hung with banners, not unfurled in half a century. Drums thunder in the courtyard. Nobles and generals stand expectant, some whispering with eagerness, others with unease. The Sultan rises, young but stern, and speaks before the assembled dignitaries. For 50 years, we have kept our swords sheathed, honouring the peace of our forefathers. Yet peace has bred insolence in our neighbours. They tax our caravans, mock our envoys, and plot against our throne. The omens are clear. The heavens demand action. We march not for conquest, but for justice and the security of our people. By sword and flame, we shall remind the world that Koth is not to be trifled with. So, there we go. Messengers right. Oh, right. Okay, so generals have been whispering about this for war, blah, blah, blah. Treasury's running thin. The clergy cite an old prophecy. The Sultan himself has a wobbly throne. That's not to be sniffed at, is it? Got it from IKEA. How the neighbours learn of it? Oh, let's find out about that. This is getting better than I thought. Messengers ride to neighbouring courts. So this will be Arnak and to the dwarf kingdom of Garak, which is very close, and to the Wizard's Island to the north, and even to the Elf lands. Messengers ride into the neighbouring courts with curt declarations. The language is accusatory, vague, citing insults and plots, but offers no proof. Diplomats are expelled from Koth overnight. Merchants crossing the border vanish. Caravans are seized in the name of reparations. To the outside world, it seems madness. A stable, prosperous realm launching an unprovoked war, yet rumours trickle out of unrest in Koth, of generals whispering in the Sultan's ears, of ancient prophecies dusted off to rouse the masses. Oh, I'm going to do that. How long have I been on? How long have I been playing this for? Nearly 10 minutes. Right. Now it says, would you like me to draft the actual war proclamation? This is what the Sultan is going to send to his neighbours and allies. Yes. This is great. I love this. I'm sorry if you're an old-fashioned orthodox wargamer and this is really offending you, but this is magnificent. Here we go. I'm going to read out the declaration of war, because I don't know how well you can see it. In the name of the Almighty Lord of heaven and earth, sovereign over kings and sultan of sultans, let it be known to all realms near and far that I haven't got a name for him. It says write his name out. I haven't got one. I tell you what, comment. Send us a name. First name I get is that's going to be his name. Unless it's really stupid, and then I'm not doing it. It's my game. So, and it'll be his name forever. And it'll go in the annals. By the grace of the Almighty and the will of our ancestors, rightful ruler of Koth, defender of the faith, guardian of the frontiers, do proclaim the following. For 50 years, the house of Koth has borne the weight of patience. We have guarded our borders in restraint, upheld our treaties in honour, and allowed our neighbours to prosper beneath the shadow of our forbearance. Yet, what has been our reward? Insolence. Our caravans are burdened with unjust tolls. Our envoys are greeted with scorn. Our name is mocked in whispers as though the lion of Koth has grown toothless. We have sought peace, but they have mistaken peace for weakness, and now the heavens themselves speak through omens and prophecy. The hour has come to lift high the sword once more. Therefore, by decree of the throne and with the counsel of our generals, viziers and holy men, we declare a righteous war upon those who transgress against us. This war is not of ambition, not of necessity, not of conquest, but of justice. Let the guilty tremble, for the wrath of Koth shall fall swift and unrelenting. We call upon the faithful to rally, upon the warriors of Koth to gird their loins with steel, and upon all subjects loyal and true to stand firm beneath our banner. May the Almighty grant us victory. May the memory of our fathers guide our hand. This is written, thus it shall be. Publicly read in Koth's marketplaces by heralds who whip up the fervour, dispatched to neighbouring rulers, sealed letters written in calligraphy on gilded parchment, accompanied by some symbolic gestures, breaking of arrows to signify broken peace, sending back tribute unpaid, etc. Oh, would you like me to tailor this proclamation to a specific neighbour? Yeah. A casus belli against. So that's Arnak. Yes. Arnak, who defeated Koth 50 years ago and built castles to restrict their trade and appropriated lands. Here we go. Right. This is now a direct accusation against Arnak. Makes the war feel like less wild aggression, gives a sense of unfinished history and grievance. It's a tailored version. In the name of Almighty Lord of heaven and earth, sovereign over kings and sultan of sultans, let it be proclaimed to all the realms that we, whatever name you decide, because it's up to you, by the grace of the Almighty, mighty, and the will of our ancestors, the rightful ruler of Koth, blah, 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 do address the matter of Arnak. 50 years passed when the house of Koth endured a time of trial. The princes of Arnak struck like jackals at a wounded lion. They seized lands that were ours by inheritance and by the sword of our fathers. They reared stone fortresses upon our trade roads, bleeding our caravans, forced our merchants to bend the knee to their tolls. We endured. For half a century we sheathed our blade, honouring the peace of our fathers, hoping that justice and neighbourly concord might prevail, but Arnak has not relented. Their castles remain as scars upon our soil. Their lords grow fat on stolen tribute, and their arrogance grows unchecked. This insult cannot stand. The Almighty has spoken through signs and wonders. The omens are clear. The memory of our fathers stirs within us, demanding redress. The Lion of Koth shall sleep no longer. Therefore, by decree of the throne, and with the council of our generals, viziers, and holy men, we declare righteous war upon Arnak. This war is not of caprice, but of necessity, not of conquest, but of restitution. By sword and flame we shall reclaim what was torn from us, and cast down the false strength of stone walls raised against us. Let all in Koth rise to this cause. Let warriors sharpen their blades. Let banners be unfurled. Let the faith of the people burn like a fire against the usurpers. May the Almighty grant us victory, and may the memory of our ancestors guide our hand. This paints Koth's war as a continuation of an old conflict. So I had a war with Koth. My son commanded the armies of Koth. And in game time, that was 50 years ago. A response to economic strangulation with Arnak's castles and tolls, which are on the border. A sacred duty reclaiming stolen land. Now, so that's what it's done. I'm quite pleased with that. I thought that went well. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that and say everything they've just said is what happened. So, yeah, I think I'm going to get the map to show you. So I'll get the map and let you have a look at the map. There's Koth. It's a big country. It goes off the map. There's another page off to the east. And there's been all sorts of battles and there. That was a halfling town. The ruler of a sultan of Koth forced all of the halflings into slavery and had them working in the lime kilns. There's a fortress there that was built after the last war 50 years ago, and it's full of like Knight Templars. So if you come here now, this used to be much freer border. So here, Eador and Asdi, either side of the Ebb River, they're the border towns. The Ebb River is now the border. It wasn't. The border used to be there, between Foy and Silgard. They've still got a lot of sort of Moorish Ottoman architecture. But after the last war, that was annexed, and the Koth fortification was destroyed. That's why it's a ruin in that swamp. But it means all trade coming from Koth has to go through there, controlled by South Castle, and that opens up then into Arnak and the Dwarf lands, and it's sort of the big opening area into the rest of the world. The lighting here today is bonkers. I've had to put a big blue cloth up at the window. It's not pouring in. Big yellow spooky thing in the sky that won't stop shining. It's weird. Ooh. Yeah. So I've done the chat GPT and I've shown you Koth, and I loved that. I thought that was great. Now, I don't know what purists among you think. It's the first time I've ever done it, but I really enjoyed it. I found it really exciting to have sort of an independent something come and create such a vivid story. I can still create my own stories if I want to, but that was fantastic. And I will do that again because I enjoyed doing it. And that stuff will fit really nicely into my world history of Koth. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope that you weren't too offended by it. Maybe you liked it. Comment. Let me know. Give us one of them. It's one of them. Do what you like. Yeah. So, food for thought. Something that makes you feel sick. I don't know. Ta-ra, Chuck.